Hello, my name is Lyudmila. I'm co-founder and CTO of the Bit company. And over the last 8 years, we work with different healthcare applications. So today I invite Vsevolod, who work with dental CAD application to share the experience, to see what is the difference in process, in technologies, and which lessons we can take from it. Hello, Vsevolod. Thank you for joining me today. Tell me a little bit about yourself, the product, just to give context to the audience.
Yeah, sure. And I'm team lead. I'm somewhere in the middle of the team leading and technical leading. That's why we will talk about a lot of technical things today, I hope. And um, our product is big tool for the dental technician, uh, which are oriented on the not only some regular data processing of, I don't know, some clients of clinics or something like that, but to build whole process from the most beginning when the client go to clinic and to the like complete end to the complete product, which could be, I don't know, crown, implant, or any other dental part which can be put into the client's mouth.
And if start from technical side, your project is already like 10 years.
Even more, I think, yes, because like the whole ecosystem is about, I don't know, 14 years old, and it's only that part that specifically our company and our team involved in.
And what technology stack are you using?
Um, Mostly it is C# and .NET and C++, like in basics, of course, and a lot of different tools and maybe some other different things that um, somehow related to these languages, like the basics, like the core of all of that. Um, Also about the platform, it's mostly oriented on the Windows devices because of the hardware requirements mostly, and tools which are available and like operation system which are available for user.
Okay, and during this, like more than 10 years, as you said, technology I changed it. So I think even .NET have been updated. Do you think the stack that you have was a good decision? Or if you would start it now, like, or based on history that you have now, you would choose something else?
Um, yes, like we gradually going forward with the .NET versions, for example, and for the current purpose, I think that's could be um, one of the best choices we did, because even with some competitors which have, like, for the development it is perfect because you have enough performance and enough possibilities. uh, yeah, so that's the good choice. Our competitors, for example, tried, just for example, just the C++, and that doesn't work for the end client, just because development becomes so hard, then that it makes no sense to continue to maintain such solution. For the I don't know, some a web version of that, it is pretty new thing um, for the market because of performance back, and so maybe that's rather just our future, but not the past choice that have been must be done before.
Yeah, and, you also mentioned it, like 10 years ago, software on the computer were more popular, like than web, and now everything's in web. Do you think are you going to the direction of moving everything to web, or it's too heavy for now and it still should be installed in desktop, and at least you see it as a future? So a little bit things about
Yeah.
web versus desktop.
Yes, you are right, and it is still the performance bottleneck. It is still big. Like we've seen a lot of products which mostly related to the game development when you try to somehow go to the web and make it into the web somehow, like through the internet in the browser. But when it comes to the realization, you have to put somewhere the big all of this resource consuming part and like hardware resource consuming part. For example, into the services which Google provides or many others, like when you even stream some content, some 3D content, just directly like as a video, it is also requires a lot of resources to provide. And even such gigantic companies like Google cannot handle that. Then they cannot handle enough speed, enough of such version of implementation. But same time, that's definitely our future because browsers step by step tries to find some solution how to give some of the hardware performance you are available to use with just desktop some native tools. And also hardware become a bit more oriented, a bit more accessible for such things as browser, which are just like sandbox for everything. And I think and like that's the main bottleneck of this process. But then we have to, but all of the other things, like just useful parts, like just access of some resources through the internet is like the basic we are implemented even already. So just like some integration with the different services, some like online access, all of the authorization and all the other like a bit more basic stuff, it is already working, and that's all. It's our present.
So the heavy part, like 3D, is still should be in desktop. It's very heavy to move to web, right?
Yes.
And like some interfaces, I don't know, simple forms, it's something that easy to move.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and in this case, like your customers are dentals, right?
Dental technicians mostly, yes.
Dental.
So not the dentists, but yeah, that dental technician, because that's always the like smooth gap between them, because like dentists, they are mostly like operating over the patient, but like dental technicians performs all of the let's say technical stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
I try to ask, so does it mean that also, because you mentioned that a lot of resources needed, so does it mean that it's not possible to run the software on regular hardware? So it should be specific like device computer that like your company provide or dental technician should buy? Or or in any computer the software could be run?
For now, pretty basic setups, pretty basic hardware could handle that. Of course, you need to have not like the most basic tool, like not the $100 PC, $100 PC will not run that, but yes, it is possible to run in most regular common devices you are able to buy right now.
And as it's for dental technician, so I assume that software connected also to some other hardware. So it's not enough just to have computer, right? I don't know, printing machine or something else. Actually, do you have this? And if yes, does there are any challenges with it? For example, different protocols, different type of machines. So what can you a little bit talk about this area?
Yeah, there are like huge amount of the devices which somehow related to whole this process. As I told, that you can build the whole pipeline from the scanning to the final product you are going to somehow integrate into the patient. And yes, a lot of devices, and like it begins with the scanning somehow, and then to producing these models, this like making physically. The main challenges usually it is about precision, because and like it goes in some we're staying in the middle of this process. So on our side, precision, it is about like how we calculate, something, how our job done well, and how good it is, it works. And on the scanning step and on the output step, it is about already the hardware itself, how it works, how it is handles this task. So yeah, it starts with the scanning always, and that's really depends on
I'm sorry, scanning is like separate device, or what is scanning?
it could be a lot of different options. So yes, like in most, yes, it is like separate device. It could
And your program connect to this device, right?
direct and indirect, let's say.
Okay.
So the scanners could be a lot of different ways because, for example, you have special that's like innovation in the area when you have some specific stick with the cameras, with the some sensors which you can put in your mouth, and it scans your mouth inside,
Wow.
and it is pretty.
Small.
It's pretty small, yeah, for the scanning device. Of course, it produces also some problems for us because of the precision in some cases, but that's just the thing that people are like still working on to make it better. But at the same time, it could be some big metal device which are scanning as precise as possible. Some
Yeah, but to connect to this device, I mean, as you mentioned, there are different devices. Each of them have own, I don't know, API or protocol to connect. So do you have list of devices that you support, or like individually dental technician came to you and say, I need this device, and you individually connect them by one?
we have some devices which we are device itself. It like does all of the mechanical part of this task.
Yeah, but it should be integrated, so it should get send data to your program.
In 3D world, we have a good option to just work with the 3D models. Where these 3D models came, it is not, doesn't matter a lot.
So any
yes.
device generate 3D model and
yes.
it's somehow export and import.
So yeah, that depends of the not the purpose, but the way you are going to do that. So some devices just generate 3D models, yes, and we can use it. Some devices needs some software to like pre-process or post-process these models are like generated at all. Like in the end, there should be some software, and some of this software we are develop too. So yeah, that's like also our part of this thing. So yeah, we have some scanner devices which are like we are making software for directly. Then of course we are turning back to the 3D models themselves and like in
If look to the application from UI perspective, so okay, dental technician, I assume work with like 3D quite a lot, so it's not something new for them, but still there are not a lot of competitors, and from my understanding there are not a lot of big practice from UI perspective. So how you handle like heavy UI? Do you have some, I don't know, tricks, best practice? I don't know how you get feedback from dental technicians, what is comfortable, what is not. So talk about like describe a little bit your UI development process.
Yes, like I experienced a lot of different 3D operating software, like all not even in this.
So a lot. So it's not like a narrow area.
For the specific area, for our specific area, yeah, competitors not there are not that many of them.
Okay.
But for the like just the 3D modeling, there are a lot of the
Yeah,
software.
agree.
So, and in my opinion, for the general user, the general 3D software is not so clear because it is engineering software. General user is not engineer. And
yeah, but we are talking about dental technicians, so
but
they
then
understand the specific.
So that's why usually like the main practices we use is to how to make the not engineer make it him possible to do the same things, but a bit like more obvious way. What that means actually, that's when general 3D software operations system, some CAD software, it is about they give you like just the simple tools. Like you can rotate something, for example, move something, modulate something, like any way you actually want. What we used to do is to like target user with some in some direction. Make all of the tools essential for each specific job. So, for example, I don't know, for the if you want to modulate tooth, you will have modulation for the teeth specifically with all of the um, specific adjustment only for the tooth,
Mm.
not for the sorry for not for only for the I don't know gum or crown or implant or whatever else. So that's like we are making all of the possibilities and specify it for the some specific parts of this process. So making not general tool for to do anything you want, but to guide user to do things.
Okay, so you kind like of hide buttons, right? Or have submenus.
No, it's just in UI terms, it is like you have some how we call it scene, like 3D view when you where you operate with something, and we show the tools over this or these specific tools, like for the all of the useful tools. So it's not all of the UI related to the 3D mostly should be on this 3D scene.
Okay.
It cannot be just the button, like make me something. Yes, of course, there are a bunch of buttons and some sliders and other parameters, but then it comes that you can see what is happening right now, really. And then see that in whole 3 dimensions and operate in whole 3 dimensions simultaneously.
Actually, it's interesting because I think I never worked with 3D project. How you get the design? So it's kind of Photoshop, Figma, or you just discuss it and decide where to put? Because I even can't assume like how many cases design should show, or it's not so heavy as I have in my mind.
Uh, it is much less heavy than like generic 3D software. Because generic 3D software has like all-purpose. They do that
Yeah, I mean,
all-purpose way.
how do you get the task? So do you get in Figma format? Do you have it just in explanation format? You have it as wireframes?
Um, uh, let's say we use just the Figma
Okay.
for the design because like in everything except this 3D scene, it is like just the typical application with the windows and so on. Just 3D scene. It is it is more complicated, and that's not should be not only like design it, but also yes, explain it, very detail it. What should come after what, like algorithmically, visually. So we are just even drawing by hand what some results we are going to achieve.
So you do. So how do you find the balance, or how you usually go in with different, how to say, different cases? So for example, for button you have one, I don't know, active and passive. When you click this button, you need to show this menu. So are you draw all this little stuff, or you like draw the general and then, as you said, by paint by yourself or with the team, draw the rest? Condition. I remember like different condition of the, I don't know, let's say button of screen or functionality.
The good thing about it is there are some basic tools. So you can say, for example, you have something on the screen, for example, and say it works like that, and that's it. And you are like make it abstract, you segregate it, and left it. So every time you can say, when I press this button, this 3D tool, for example, is shown, and that's it. And this 3D tool works every time this way.
Okay.
And for the all other things, it become this more complex, how it should be built this way. Like one of my favorite customer term that this crown, it should be like the curvy girl. It should be like curvy girl, like curvy girls. Yeah, it should be like that. So that's actually the way that such things could be designed.
AI. Yes,
Oh,
AI.
yes,
AI
of course, AI. Just
AI is everywhere. So how do you already start this AI integration? Are you plan to do it? And like, if you plan, what is useful cases? Because it's always difficult to find these useful cases to not rely to AI too much, but get benefit from it.
you can never rely on the AI at all, in my opinion.
Course.
And so and like AI, it's too general term for the things we use, and we're going to implement in some future which are already implemented, because some basic stuff like this computer vision. I'm not sure why they put the braces here, because it's just a computer vision. It's the term. When like computer tries to see with your like with his eyes, like webcam or any other camera, and analyze it like a human do. And technically that's AI, because it's like it tries to understand. And we have already this computer vision stuff just to do the basic things that, for example, I don't know, Google Lenses does, or other software, when you can analyze the image and understand based on that some things. And it is a bit more clever than just the scan barcode, because scanning of the barcode, it is the most basic computer vision thing. But make it more clever, make it to analyze some shapes just to find some data. This was implemented, I don't know, already years ago. And it's like still useful tool, just the basic one. For the generation of the models, which we're mostly used to do, last time we had like conversation with the customer, and that's actually not the main point, because as I told you about, sorry, I returned to that to returning to the curvy girls. It is when dental technician does his job, if he is good, he does it fast and pretty. And generative AI, it still very hard to make him to do the human-like things. And one of the parts which are less lost popularity right for now is to make some, I don't know, manufacturing solution for the people look. Like in, I don't know, in early 2000s, when you've seen some, I don't know, American movie stars with the strictly narrow teeth, same high, same color, and just it. But it doesn't look naturally. And but when you generate something, it should look in the end naturally. And what the AI does, it makes everything in average, and that's it. But there are a lot of tasks which are cannot be even done without artificial intelligence in some cases, because one of the big part which we're challenged with, and which are like a lot of other people have challenged with, it's the operation of the CT scans, or I've actually forgot all of this abbreviation of the slicing human into the small slices and see it inside. MRT, I guess. So anyway, once people has been scanned this way, you have to make a 3D model from it. But resolution still, like, by the obvious, really odd, yes. And like, not the worst thing. And when some doctor just can look on it, yeah, it could be fine for him just to look on it. But when you are going to then precisely modulate over this scan, it comes that, and when your precision is about, I don't know, 2 microns, it's like 0.002 millimeters. And like this, such scanning quality is, it is.
So you think that AI can solve it, or it's already
Not most of the people trying to improve this process, they came to AI, because it is mostly just about image processing, and of course there are some danger to make mistake in the scanning, but not everything can be solved just mathematically, unfortunately, because people, they are not the machines, so they don't have this precise measurements. That's why to reduce this slight incorrectness, which can make whole other process bad, it's AI maybe like the most future somewhere here, when you just cannot do something mathematically, or it is like just a pile of the tools which are tried to be the intelligence.
I already start working on this AI, or it's something that in the plans?
We are for now using some already done tools by the different teams which are using it.
Okay. Yeah, actually, it's interesting because like it's 3D and like there are not ready AI tools to analyze it. Okay, if you are talking about QA process, so does it possible to cover modeling with Autotest? Do you use it, or it's mostly manual? How many QA develop, like how your test process done to test all the scenarios? There are like so many of them.
Yeah, as our QA team lead says that like how many QA engineers do you need? Like it is never enough of them. So yeah, it is unfortunately still a lot of manual work because in our case you should not only like test basic stuff, you should understand it. So our like entrance level to understand the software, how it works, it's slightly higher. So the requirements is not only the thing you have to understand to do that. So you have to be a bit of the dental technician to test such thing. Um, but anyway, there are still just like basic thing like unit testing because we still use a lot of mathematics. A lot of mathematic algorithms. They are like coverable by the unit testing still. So but at the same time we have UI automation test. Like it came not far long ago, so it's like kind of new feature for us too. Because of all this complexity, but we finally find a way how to make UI test including this 3D thing, and it seems like work and can handle this like UI pipelines and all other stuff with that. So the main problem usually like the main and testable thing comes somewhere in the middle between like the most high level of the software, like when it just clicks on the buttons and on the 3D sense, but automatically. And like just unit test when we test that 2 plus 2 is the 4. It is the Curvy girls will be our main topic of this conversation. So yeah, so how to test that some crown is curvy enough to make it like that it is pretty, and there's like there is no test case when you say it is looks good or not looks good,
Yeah.
and that's the main challenge. And
But
without
what if QA good is not the same as for dental good? Or this is like main purpose to train QA to see it?
we have a very good customer which can explain
Okay.
how good it like he has I don't know twice as much experience of developing such software, and so we also he's a dental technician himself. So like in the past, right now I think he is not practicing that, but um, yeah, so he can explain what he want to achieve and what all the other dental technicians want to achieve. So it's kind of his job to explain us what we are going, and he does it well. So
Okay, okay. And you already mentioned that like you need to train QA, but in same case you need to train developer. So let's talking about onboarding because it's always very heavy and long process. Everything struggle of it. What do you use? So what is your process? Just explanation, a lot of documentation. I don't know some knowledge bases. How you transfer all this, and how long it does it take it actually?
yeah, to make you imagine the complexity of that, it takes usually about like to become like the stable part of the team which you can rely on. It takes about half of the year.
Okay.
And in basic things, like we are hiring like programmers, and there are pretty basic programmer stuff. In some areas like this 3D like operation, even this, I don't know, mm, trigonometry, the trigonometry, sorry. It is like the part of the usual program, like learning part of the um, most programmers I don't know anywhere in the world. Most of people skip that, and maybe a lot of people not concentrated. But it's even all of this mathematics. And we use mostly basics. We have professionals which are mostly working on C++ and which are like more mathematics than most of us on the .NET side. But yeah. Um, anyway, so we can hire just the programmer, and in general case, because they must know the basics of mathematics. I don't know. By the Ukrainian level, it is, I don't know, ninth grade of the school,
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah, but how you onboard him? So
Yeah.
okay, you like select the right person. I get it that it should be like some mathematical knowledge more than 3D practice, but then you need to transfer all this knowledge.
Yeah.
So okay, it's half a year, but what tools do you have?
There is documentation, not maybe the best and the widest one because of the complexity of software itself, and same time because of the amount of changes we do every, I don't know, every release. And then yes, it is process when the people have some just the written data. Them have all of the team, like we're communicating usually pretty well, so all of the team members can help you with something.
Do you
And
have kind of buddy system, like a
yes,
mentoring system?
yes, we have. For our case, we even subdivided team leading responsibility even for the one sub team. So, for example, we have QA team lead is clear. We have C++ development team lead also. It's also clear. But even just for .NET, we right now have let's say 3 team leads.
Mm.
So each one like responsible of each one's part of the team.
And also about the project, so part of the project, or it's only part of the team?
Well, mostly part of the team because in general all of the members should understand what they are doing, like
Okay.
in general. In some specific, of course, we have like what we call the feature lead.
Mhm.
When someone is like the most experienced with some feature on every side, on the C++ side, on the QA side, on the .NET side. And this like small sub team of the most all of the most experienced people can uh, handle any change in this area in this feature and transfer the knowledges for the all of the other team members when they are involved in in the job in this area.
Mhm. And you mentioned release. So I start thinking about like during 10 years, I think you should have some technical depth, and also you should have some plans for release. So how you usually balance this like task, bugs, and tech depth?
Um, to, to, to be clear, when I'm talking about release in our terms, it is rather like our versioning. So that's like not the like global release of everything. And software a lot of really modular, so each module can be released in the more general term separately.
Do you mean there are like no rush or no pressure for you when you have release?
We have all the time. Yeah, I mean, that's just not about like release the whole software.
Uh-huh.
It is about releasing all the version of
Oh yeah,
software
yeah.
of the or the module of the software.
But still, like during this time, you had like
Yeah.
you have tasks, you have bugs, you have tech depths as in any project, and I think during like so long period, amount of the bugs and tech depths become bigger.
The technical debt is our kind of main pain, maybe less for everyone because like for the development, um, we try to balance that. So we trying to search like the most critical parts. The hardest part usually to solve tech debt somewhere on the like the most architectural level because it even it does not have a lot of time to implement, but same time it is really anyway like big decision and big job. So that's the biggest thing. In other parts, just the modularity makes it like possible to solve each small tech depths separately for the each module, submodule of submodule of submodule, and so on. And it constantly collects new tech debt, and we're trying to reduce. We're like searching and some of like using some basic techniques and like the static analysis of the code, like just code review, like uh, analyzing of the requirements and so on. So to not make even like because a big part of all of our like depth in this area, it is not only the like programming tech debt, but also logical tech debt, because we have even such technical debt.
Yeah, yes. it's not a rare case, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I usually like cover this tech debt like separately, or it's like part of exist tasks. For example, you get a task and
Yeah.
you say, hey, based on this task, also include in estimation refactoring. Or let's, I don't know, next sprint, we take half of the sprint for refactoring, I don't know, bug fixing, and half for like
Yeah,
which process I will
unfortunately, like
follow.
no one want to no one like to pay for the refactoring.
Yeah.
So like the best way we found and we used to is
Uh-huh.
to make it actually the part of the tasks. So you have to show the customer business value of
Yeah.
of it. So and when you like in the best cases, um, in the hardest cases, you just have to kind of hide it behind the estimation
Uh-huh.
and make it the part without that saying to the customer directly that this big part of this feature will be refactoring and we will not take that. For the like biggest parts, yes, we are making sometimes we make it like separate thing
Mhm.
to do. Sometimes it is like just said that a huge part of this task will
Mhm.
be the preparing for the implementation of this task, and it requires it this business value of this task. You know that, and so it comes. And that's a really big job where unfortunately does it not we are not do that as often as we would like. So that's
It's
constant.
always a problem.
Yes.
I think I haven't seen the project where everything is good. And if they say that everything is good, it means something something they don't see. Maybe
Something
not
is
very
so bad that they would like to hide it.
or maybe not very qualified like developers who could not see the issue. But generally, it's always a problem, and it's always about this balance to find: do we need to do it now? Can it wait, or like it's become critical? Let's go back to the team because you mentioned that on your development team is already three lead. Just because, if I understand right, team is quite very big and you need to handle each group separately. So when you have some architectural decision, like how you manage it, because like a lot of people involved, even on lead level is three people, you need to negotiate. So what's the process you usually have?
And it's just a, let's say kind of regular process of negotiation,
Uh-huh.
because and that's actually even makes it a bit easier in this area because um, you mm, you always have some support
Mhm.
in in these decisions, even not only on the architectural actually. So the making so many team leads, let's say, makes it possible to not even sometimes negotiate that, but find a way. Because when we talk about negotiations, everyone has own point of view
Yeah.
and own idea, but
But it's also about like like having a compromise. So you need to
yes.
like
But in our case,
take some.
it's more usually when you all together trying to find this solution.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So yeah, that's more about and it will become negotiation at some point when everyone got some own ideas about how it should look, and then it like just regularly comes here to just decide which one's idea is better in which areas and in which cases.
Do you remember any example of, I don't know, some case where you stuck and you understand that like each of you have own opinion?
Um,
If no, no.
no, like
Nothing specific.
nothing
Okay.
specific. Yes.
Okay, what do you do when some team member is stuck? Again, system big, like especially as you said, new members half a year to onboard, and from my understanding, it's not junior level developers; it's like senior or middle, and they still can stuck. So maybe you also can stuck because of I don't know, new documentation or new business, how to integrate it into current code. So what usually is the flow to manage it?
Actually, communication is the key.
With whom? With team? With customer?
Uh, in general, with everyone. So it is like, no, and of course,
Mhm.
uh, first hardest thing is to make some, let's say, shy developer to start to ask questions.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. I know this issue.
Yes,
Agree.
and then to organize everything around to make him know where he can go with this
Mhm.
question, and that's why also this like subdivide the team into this some additional subgroups when we subdivide everyone with by this feature leading stuff
Mhm.
as I told. Um, so yeah, it is usually solved by the communication and hold the systems, hold this like soft, just tracking and management software we use is to um, resolve problem when even someone has the question or he's stuck, that he is able to immediately know when who he can ask about it.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's like them, and there are not big trick, and they're just mostly about be up to date with that.
Okay.
It's not,
And what do you think the most important leadership criteria for you? So, because as team lead, you are not only responsible for technical part, I mean coding, you're also responsible, as you said, to talking about team, like solve some issues, make architecture decision. So which technical and not technical parameters do you think that the tech lead, the team lead should have to make this work appropriately, especially on big team size? Sorry, how many people? 20? Like technical, like development.
just development, just in our sub team, because we have a big account in general. 30, I guess.
30, so like, I mean, it's 30 multiple 3?
No, not that way.
So 30 people for 3 team lead.
For 15, for like 12 people for this. So yeah, each one has about four developers, about 4 developers.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's go back to my question. So which skills do you think are important for this position?
I think the most important, like besides the general stuff like being a good programmer and so on, it is like having the like complex understanding of what is going on.
You mean business side?
Business side, yes. Because like what is the customer want in the end, like what he expects, like be with him on the same wave.
Did you have cases when you need to refuse some idea of the customer or say that like it's not good one, let's go with this one? So some kind of conflict.
Yeah, that's like constant process.
Constant.
Like not of course not about just we don't refuse everything, and I mean all of this negotiation is like constant process, because customer is very experienced, but same time we know like what we can do, what is our possibilities, and what other solutions we have for that. So that's constant, like he has request, we have some solutions. There's always negotiations which way where we will go.
So like communication and negotiation with customer is also part of skills for tech lead.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Actually, I don't have, like, I have last questions. It's, if you will go back to your beginning of the career, what advice would you give to yourself?
I don't actually know. I think maybe just in my case to learn mathematics more because it's yeah, it could be like the good skill, and I really like it in the end, and I understand that I not so like good in that.
I think it's even not beginning of career, it's beginning of school years.
But like mathematics does, it is a hard thing to tell I don't know 5 years old someone that it will be helpful for you for the future, and
yeah, we can like have separate discussion of it, because I remember as a university we all the time had this discussion, does mathematics needed for programmers or no, and like there was 2 parts and everybody have arguments, and still like now when we are like looking to the past, I see that really for somebody it was needed, like I mean vectors as you have, or I don't know metrics who working with images, but for somebody no, because when you're doing the forms, for example, front-end React, you don't really need mathematics. So yeah.
And maybe I remembered one thing, which I am same way like and hate. It is like this phrase that like keep it simple, and I'd like to that it will be my philosophy, but it is very hard to follow and understand that that proportion when like simple is good, and when it cannot be simple, but same time don't argue about that, because in the end it should be simple and should be kept simple. on the some level of abstraction, let's say.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vsevolod, to join me today. It really was interesting for me to understand how manage like 3D project with a big team with a big mass all the time releases, and we like can we use AI in it? Can we use automatic test for it? So you actually answer all this. So thank you for this.
Thank you too.